Prince Harry has been a parent now for all of 5 minutes. And along with being an expert on mental health but unable to support his wife, he's now an expert on parenting skills and on a mission to break the cycle and free his 2 children, Archie and Her Majesty, Lilibet, from all the mistakes that his own parents have made, which in his words were a result of their own childhood experiences. You know, I've got visions of royal staff holding Prince Charles and the Queen back saying, "Keep calm, Mum," as they issued the statement that recollections may vary. However, the media, celebrities and the general population are now being far more vocal as more people are tuning into the next episode of the Harry and Meghan soap opera. For those new to my channel, I'm Sue Blackhurst and a huge welcome. I really hope to see you again. And for my regular viewers, huge apologies for my absence over the past, I think it's about 5 weeks since my last video. I've had so many lovely messages asking if I'm okay and where am I, but I've just been focusing 100% on my confidence building coaching clients, and they will vouch that over the 8 weeks we actually become really good friends because we spend so much time chatting on Zoom, and of course every conversation has to end with a little bit about Harry and Meghan. So if you want to find out more about how to join my one-to-one Find Your Confidence program and how to get on my waiting list, then do keep watching and I'll tell you more about it later in the video. And of course, if you do enjoy my content, you can like and comment at any time. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when my next videos are out. I don't believe that there are any parents out there who haven't at some stage had their now adult child make them feel that they didn't totally screw up and fail every parenting test. I'm a parent of 2 teenagers, and I suspect that if you are also a parent or a grandparent, you have at some time questioned your parenting skills and gone to bed at night thinking, well, you could have handled that one better. But parenting is something that you learn as you go along because every year and every age milestone brings its own challenges, and every time we think we've got the hang of it, along comes another life event or a new set of developing attitudes and behaviours that we have to learn how to both interpret and to manage. Because whilst the child is young, we can offer guidance and support to the best of our own abilities. But as children grow into adults, they gain a mind and a voice of their own, and there comes a day when we no longer feel that we have the ability to offer advice or make decisions on their behalf. They're adults living their own life and no longer need us, and all the years of our knowledge and our own experience will have no value whatsoever, as they, in their minds, now know far more than we ever will. Well, Harry and Meghan appear to think that they know everything about childhood and parenthood, but they have no idea that that gorgeous, cute little toddler that goes running up and down the beach and sits on that bench will one day grow up into a beer-drinking, party-loving, hormonal teenager and will one day throw it back every single time that things didn't quite go their way. And yes, they will point the finger firmly at the parent. Just like Meghan has disowned her father who gave her everything he had, Archie and Lilibet will one day throw this current media circus back into their faces. So the cycle he is so desperate to break is actually a cycle that they are both strengthening on a day-to-day basis. Of all the words that define parenthood, the ones that I feel sum up the job the best are unconditional love and sacrifice. Because from the day they're conceived, our beloved children affect our mood, our sleep patterns and our bank accounts. And when they hit 18, they still affect our mood, our sleep patterns and our bank accounts. And that includes Harry's £5 million yearly pocket money off his dear daddy. But no matter how much mud they throw at us, we still love them. And as parents, our natural instinct is to always do anything to stand by them and protect them. And it's this unconditional love that enables children to behave so thoughtlessly to their parents. Because this hard-done-to child will, metaphorically speaking, shut or even slam doors in their parents' face every single day, without any consideration to the hurt and harm that they're inflicting on those who, in their mind, will never walk away. And as parents, we also fear saying or doing anything that may cause our child to leave and cut all ties. It's not a conscious test or, to cause any intentional harm. It's what happens in every family, because both parent and child will make mistakes. but it's each one's understanding of accountability that really differs. I'm convinced that Harry truly believes that the more he shares his terrible childhood with the world, the more his family will come crawling back, begging for forgiveness and giving him everything that he wants. And to an extent he's right, because they're family and they love and care for him. So we'll accept an element of the door slamming. But there will come a point when even the most devoted parent or sibling has to make that difficult decision to finally close the door themselves and walk away. And I'm not sure how Harry would handle life if his family ever decided to cut him off altogether. And I don't mean titles, I mean disowning him in the same way that he is trying to disown them. Because I think he'd be shocked and distraught, as he's not speaking as a rational adult. He is voicing his past with the memories of the child that he was at the time. You see, every child will grow up begrudging something about how they were raised and how their parents handled a particular situation. But even though the child is now an adult, when they recall events of the past, they recall them using the emotions of the child that they were at the time. So their logic remains childlike and not rational as seen through the eyes of an adult. So let's say, a 40-year-old man can still feel the hurt and anger of being grounded and not being allowed to play Saturday football when they were 8 years old after they kicked a football through the neighbour's window. But as an adult, they recall the hurt that they felt at the time and not the view that the parents were teaching them a valuable lesson of accountability and consequence. But when they have a child of their own who does something similar, it's the lesson that they recall and not the emotion. So they will also ground their child, and so the cycle continues. Harry has said that he wants to break the cycle with his own children, and referring to his parents as a collective and not just his father, he is actually targeting both Charles and Diana. Well, she may have been Princess Diana to us, but to Harry she was Mum. And to be honest, I can't find any evidence of Diana ever being a bad mother. But she was human, and as a result, she will have made some mistakes. Well, regardless of how it came about, let's not go into that, because when Diana did the BBC interview, it was reported that both William and Harry were devastated as she spoke so openly and negatively about their father and the rest of their family. They couldn't understand how she could have gone on national television without thinking how it was going to affect them both. So if Harry is in fear of history repeating itself and he has been on the receiving end of airing dirty laundry in public, he should know more than anyone else what it feels like to have your privacy both invaded and violated. So if he truly wanted to break any cycles, surely refusing to do any of the Oprah interviews would have been a very good place to start. For all the hurt and betrayal that Diana went through, she always said that Charles was a great father, and I believe that he always did his best. Parents who have demanding jobs often have to sacrifice family time, and I'm sure that being heir to the throne counts as rather a demanding job. But Prince Charles couldn't spend the quality time with the boys as he was consumed by his role and his work. But that is not a reflection of a lack of love or care. It's a reflection of the fact that Charles was so focused on making a difference in the world. And Charles wasn't an absent father, because both William and Harry have said that their dad used to laugh in all the wrong places when he went to watch them in school plays. And he used to send them handwritten notes, and that's something that many children who are genuinely neglected would see as a doting and loving father. And let's not forget that when Diana died in 1997, it was Charles who had to break the news to his young sons, and his role as father had never been more vital. He tried to do his best to make sure that both William and Harry were protected and looked after whilst going through his own turmoil. So the truth is that when William and Harry needed their dad, he was in fact there very much for both of them. Harry seemed genuinely shocked when Charles stopped taking his calls less than a year after they both chose to become financially independent, which I think is a really naive perception for a couple in their late 30s whose married life was bankrolled by the very father that Harry is now wanting to break away from. So, Harry, you are not breaking any cycles. You are part of it, and every finger that you point today will one day be pointed at you. Just like you and your wife, the Queen would have loved to have had life outside her goldfish bowl. But when her uncle abdicated, it changed the course of history and her life was mapped out forever. I'm sure the Queen would have loved another 10 or 20 years as a new mum to raise her family out of the spotlight. But, just like you, Harry, she woke up one morning to hear that her parent had died. And from that moment, her ability to make choices based upon what she wanted was taken away, as everything she did was for the benefit of the country and the Commonwealth she led. Charles may not have been the world's greatest dad, but he certainly wasn't the world's worst. And he's definitely making every effort to be a great granddad. So taking 2 of his grandchildren away is punishment in itself, because grandparents play a huge role in a child's life. So it's not just the family who are missing out, it is Archie and Lilibet, who are now being robbed of that very important and special bond. So, Harry, I think in 15 or 20 years' time, you need to remind yourself that you were and you are a loving parent. And at the same time, although you believed your intentions were for the best, you also made mistakes that wounded your children. And Harry, be prepared for the day that Archie and Lilibet go on American chat show television to talk about how they escaped the trappings of the fake world of Hollywood and reconnected with the family that they were hidden away from. Even when they do their best, parents fall short regardless, as there will always be decisions made and comments said that children simply find hurtful. The reality is, there is no such thing as a perfect parent, just as there is no such thing as the perfect child. So, Harry, there will have been days when your own father, who had it far harder than you and had far fewer choices in life than you, would have wanted to run away from home. And I'm also sure that, like every parent, he's looking back at the times when he knows that he messed up. But Harry, never to the extent that justifies your current desire for such public humiliation. I said at the start that I've been full on with my coaching clients. Well, the doors are now open again to join me for my 8 weeks one-to-one training to show you how to find your confidence. So if you judge yourself believing that others see you as foolish, weak or incapable, or if you hate the way you feel when faced with new people or new situations, maybe now is the time to finally do something about it. I work with women just like you to show you how to rethink and reevaluate what people say to gain control of your self-sabotaging thoughts. Over 8 weeks, you will learn how to interpret the behaviours of others to manage the impact that they have upon you, so you will finally regain control of your life. Over 8 weeks, it's just you and me on a one-to-one Zoom call. The times we meet are to suit you and can be changed each week, so you don't ever miss out on anything at home. Well, to get onto my waiting list, simply email me, sue@sueblackhurst.com, with the words, "I want to find my confidence." Thank you so much again for watching and all your amazing support. It would be a massive help if you could simply like and share this video, and of course, don't leave without subscribing. Do take care, and I will see you all next time.